And welcome to an all-new Marvelcast, Expression Network's hub of all things Marvel, place to talk about everything MCU and beyond, from Avengers and Defenders to Slapstick and Gwenpool. My name is Ashley Hobley, the Explosion Network's resident fourth wall breaker. Joining me today, the astonishing Dylan Blight.
Happy to be here and talk about how this did better fourth wall breaking than either Deadpool movie.
Ooh, big call. Alright, so we're here at the season finale of She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Whose show is this? Directed by Coiro. Written by Jessica Gao. Jen finds herself in trouble with the law and struggles to pick up the pieces of her life. Dylan, what did you think of the season finale of She-Hulk Attorney at Law?
I loved it. I really like this show. I feel like this show somehow predicted exactly how the internet would react, almost to the point that you feel like they were writing each episode week by week in response to the internet. Like, it just feels like they got it. They just knew that like the way it would sort of go down.
Or is it just that certain people are very predictable?
Yeah, that's also a point. But yeah, I mean, once the finale started happening, I rolled. I was like, ugh. I was like, and you know, because I'm on here all the time complaining about this shit, right? I'm always like, movie was really good until the final. TV show was really good until the finale. You know, all this sort of stuff. And all this shit starts happening, and I'm just like, and even to the point she's talking to the camera, making it a bit, and I'm like, just because you're making it a bit doesn't actually help that it's still a thing that you're doing. And then the fact that she started fourth wall breaking and rewriting, I'm like, oh, I'm fucking down. Like, this is this is the best thing I've ever seen. Like, the fact when she starts just going off, Kevin's a robot and all this sort of stuff, and just starts going off about how dumb a common complaint is all the Marvel movies like just turn into whatever she uses to, what I'd call like a CGI wank fest, would be my description. But in the last act and stuff like that, I'm like, this show gets me. I was like, this show really understands how I feel about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Tie that all together with some really funny moments, including, I hope, the already gifted moment of her being like, when are we getting the X-Men, and looking at the camera? Like all this. I thought it was just, yeah, I really enjoyed this show. I feel like it's a totally different voice within the Marvel universe, and the way this finale played out, I thought was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I liked the episode. I think it was enjoyable. Lots of funny moments. I just feel like the major twist is, I feel like we've done it a few times recently, of let's go behind the scenes and like rewrite or talk to whoever's in charge. I think most notably, most recently was like the last season of Big Mouth. He went and literally talked to Nick Kroll in one of the episodes. So yeah, that felt a little like I've seen it before, and obviously we know that Jessica Gao has a history at Rick and Morty. It felt like a very Rick and Morty move to go straight to the creators and like, what's up with this crazy storyline? But it was a good time. The idea of Kevin Feige being a robot tracks. Yeah, I guess we get a fine resolution, I guess. It does kind of like throw the whole intelligentsia thing and explain everything behind that, I guess, I feel like it's not a super satisfying conclusion, but, it's what the show deserved, I guess, as an ending. It's very fitting for the show. And it does leave it in very interesting point for whatever this character decides to do next. Yeah, so running through the show, we start with a dream sequence in which Jen is dreaming of herself being, I think it's herself in the original, like the TV series of
it's the TV Hulk.
Hulk.
Yeah.
Dreaming of being that savage and that kind of stuff with like a actual person painted up as She-Hulk, which I thought was quite amusing. I'm like, this is so weird.
I really liked it. It was really good.
Just her and Bruce. She's like, don't make me angry. You won't make me when I'm angry. So
I haven't watched too much of the Lou. Oh no, I can't remember the Eric Bana actor. All I remember is Lou Ferrigno. Obviously, he's the notable the Hulk actor. I haven't watched too much of it, but I do own the DVD of. I think it's just called The Trial of the Incredible Hulk. So it was it was like very spot on, like cool reference. I feel throwback to that sort of thing. So enjoyed that.
So we get She-Hulk. Oh no, Jen. She's in Abomination's prison inside whatever the prison is called. She's being held. She was arrested after last episode. She's allowed out on parole as long as she puts on her own inhibitor chip. So that she does that. Her house is being hounded by paparazzi. She gets fired from her job. Very sad. Although I love Nikki.
Really is the montage of everything going bad.
Yeah, I love Nikki's like. So feel so bad for you, but I'm gonna stay here because they pay me really well. Can't fault Nikki. She's great. What a friend. Yeah, so she has to move out of her house because of the harassment. She goes back to living with her parents. But she's set on tracking down these intelligentsia fools and getting back to them by any way necessary legally. Yeah, in the process, her mum shows Nikki this video of her in college being dorky, which comes into play later. At some point, Jen's like, "Hey, I'm going to go check out Emil's compound because I need to take a mental health break." Meanwhile, Nikki puts that video out on Intelligentsia to try and bait them into letting her into her club. 10 seconds later, Hulk King's like, "Hey, you're cool. I'm throwing a shindig tonight, bro."
Everybody was.
So she's like, "I need a bro to cover for me in this party." So of course Pug has to go along. Pug really doesn't want to be there. He's just the idea of this act.
I just like him struggling to do anything, and he builds him up so much. His first big thing is just when he turns around and he comes back into the circle. He's like, "Women, am I right?" It's the most nothing comment, and everyone's like, "Yeah, women."
Yeah, so he comes to this intelligentsia party being thrown by John Bass's character, Todd. Yeah. Improv, he says terrible things about Jen, it's nepotism.
The thing is, my favorite thing is just all the comments that people are giving that are literally stuff
you've probably read, commented in the last 8 weeks.
The show. It's not that she's a woman. It's just that, all this sort of variations.
I've got nothing against female Thor, but
Yeah. We don't know nothing against female superheroes, but I'm not sexist, but all this stuff that has been thrown around the show, they literally throw out all those lines. I thought it was great.
It just goes to show how.
And those people watching the show, because they will still be watching it. They complain every week, and they still watch it. Is the thing. They'll be watching that going, "Oh, the show thinks it's funny." Who are they making fun of? You. They won't realize.
Yeah. So it turns out Todd is the Hulk King. Shocking. He's behind Intelligentsia. Yeah.
See, I'm fine with this. You're disappointed. We was talking about last week.
It's fine.
It's just going to be him. You were like, "Oh, I wish it was the thinker or the leader," and all this sort of stuff. But it wouldn't have made any sense to me. It wouldn't have made any sense.
No, that's true. Yeah. It makes sense that this dude would be behind a hate for him, I guess.
Yeah. Sometimes the most obvious answer is just the
correct answer, yeah.
The correct answer, yeah.
Yeah, so it turns out that Emil Blonsky's compound is coming out as the Abomination, giving speeches. I wasn't sure if he was with the intelligentsia people, for them, or he was just giving his motivational stuff.
Yeah, to me it was he just got hired that night to do.
Yeah, it's just coincidence.
Especially against you.
So yeah, then everything kind of shits itself. Jen walks in on the meeting. She sees Blonsky being all bad and stuff, and then Todd's like, "Hey, I got someone to sleep with you to steal your blood. Now I'm going to insert your blood into me," and he turns into Hulk Bro, I guess. Which was something.
Abomination standing right there.
Yeah.
We haven't seen this movie or plotline done in anything before. Oh wait, from the movie that you were in.
Yes. Of course, Nikki comes in. And then Titania comes out of nowhere for some reason and starts beating a bunch of random people up. I think that her inclusion was the weirdest thing.
I like it when Nikki's like, does this woman ever use a door?
That's true. And then, Hulk comes flying down from the space just in time. Despite, Abomination trying to help Jen from being attacked by any of these bro dudes. And then she's like, no, this makes no sense.
Which it doesn't.
It doesn't. And then she breaks the fourth wall into the Disney Plus menu and jumps into Marvel Assembled.
So the only reason they did that show in the first place was so she would be able to do this.
Yeah, I'm sure that was the thing.
I think that's exactly what happened. Well, no, my favorite little joke amongst all this is when Kevin's saying, can you please turn back into Jen, and can you do it when the camera cuts away because the special effects team's moved on to something else? And then you just, as he says the line, you just hear in the background the Wakandan like the thing, they've moved on to the next movie. Oh, that was a good little joke.
Yeah, so she goes to the writer's room. They're all like, hey, this is what Kevin wants, even though, we've done this before. The whole blood thing, yes, it's very much like soldier serum. This is what people expect. This is what Kevin wants. So she goes up to Kevin's office, has to fight off a bunch of goons after signing an NDA. And yes, Kevin is a robot. Very
stands for knowledge something. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. But he's very glad.
I appreciate how they made sure there was a meaning. It wasn't just they just left it at Kevin. They were like, no, it stands for this.
So She-Hulk pitches her ending to the show, which Todd never gets the Hulk blood. Gets arrested, I guess. Blonsky has to pay for his actions, and Daredevil shows up because the girl has needs. Am I right?
Also, as she says that, she sits on the floor. Kevin's
like,
are you sitting down?
Yes, very funny. And then she makes a bunch of other jokes. He says something about her being on the big screen, and he turns around. Really? No. Even though it's already been announced that she's going to be in Captain America New World Order.
There's also a lot of hints about the upcoming Hulk movie, which they haven't officially announced, but between this and obviously the thing we'll get to shortly, they get the rights back next year or whatever the story is.
Yeah.
To do the movie, because that's a weird rights issue.
Universal's finally going to lose them or whatever. Yeah. So we cut to after the events of the actual... I don't know how things actually went down afterwards, but She-Hulk is coming up on Todd. Is being arrested. He thinks he's going to beat her up. Titania's got a phone ready, Instagram live, and he just tells her. She just tells him, "See you in court, babe." And then the Daredevil drops from the sky in the middle of the day.
It makes about as much sense as Hulk dropping from literally another planet.
Yeah. I love Titania's like, "Hey, Daredevil," and him just doing the two finger salute. So then we jump to family dinner. Everybody's falling over Matt.
It's about family.
Yeah, good times. And then Hulk finally shows up. He's got a son, Scar. So that's the thing. That kind of wraps it up, right?
Yeah. It wasn't after credit scene, but
it's Abomination, Jamil being whisked away by Wong. He would have been there sooner, but man, it's peak TV at the moment. He got into a new show.
I like that. He's like, you were in another show, weren't you? He's like, it's peak TV at the moment.
Shame there wasn't a Madison cameo right at the end there. That would have really tipped off, but yeah. Wongers! So yeah, do you think we're getting a season 2?
I'm going to be annoyed if we don't, because I really think I really enjoy having this alternate sort of style, and different type of Marvel show. The only reason we wouldn't get one is if they listen to the critics, because the numbers are there, is the thing. As much as you see people complaining,
not the critic, but not
narrative,
critics.
The viewing numbers are there.
Haters, you mean?
The haters. I mean, like, there is a vocal minority of people who are user voting, downvoting this on
any user plays
IMDb
platform,
or wherever else. Any user plays, and there's a vocal minority making YouTube videos and Twitters and stuff and saying the show's terrible. However, there's also very high viewer numbers for this show, higher than a lot
people
of other
don't keep
MCU
watching
shows.
stuff if they don't like it.
Yes, the show, it wasn't just the first episode. It has been consistently doing well. So I think the only reason they wouldn't do one in a world where we're getting season 2 of fucking Moon Knight, a show that was bad. Yeah, didn't Oscar Isaac the other day say?
I don't.
Oscar Isaac the other day was like, "We're getting another season." So, I mean, it's not being officially announced, but Oscar Isaac apparently said it. So, yeah, I see no reason we shouldn't get another one. The show's done well. Isn't that all that matters? I would like another one.
Yes,
that's my opinion.
Oscar Isaac is confident we'll see more Moon Knight, so not necessarily. Yeah,
I didn't say it was officially announced. But.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that they do a second season. I feel like the only thing is obviously the special effects heaviness of the show. But it's got a great cast. I'm excited to see where they could potentially go. Yeah, it's so different to everything else, but yeah, I would think if they were to do a second season, we won't be seeing it till like 2024. Because that seems to be their go-to, you know.
That's fine. But I'm not saying you have to rush one out every year. But I do want more.
All right. Any other thoughts on the season finale or the show on the whole?
No, I feel like the show as a whole was very good. I feel like it was funny. I enjoy the target of a different audience. I appreciate the fact that it's self-aware. I appreciate that it's. Can
we talk about how good Tatiana Maslany has been this entire season?
Also being a very good marketing person for the show online, so like even though she's only in like a couple episodes.
What?
As a bit part. Well, she's only in what, like
Tatiana Maslany.
Oh fuck, I heard the wrong name. Tatiana Maslany's been very good as the part. It's in those moments I feel like where she starts sitting down and just like the moment she's like, "Can you tell me when we're getting the X-Men?" And like her look towards the camera, I'm like, "You are owning this. You're like owning this character at this part." And you can tell she's having a lot of fun with it. And I feel like from all the interviews, she's been having she really likes the role and having a lot of fun. I'm gonna
throw out a crazy prediction. Emmy nominated, best comedy.
That'd be crazy.
Lead actress in a comedy series.
Crazy. People would be mad.
That's why it'd be great. All right, let us know what you thought of She-Hulk Attorney at Law, whether it's the finale, whether it's the entire show. Are you upset because you're exactly one of those intelligentsia bros who got burnt? Let us know by going to explosion.com/Twitter or jump to our Discord at explosion.com/Discord. If you want to help us out here at All Me Marvel Cast, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Podchase or tell people about the show. And if you like this episode, thought it was worth $1, head over to our Ko-fi page at explosion.com/support. We do currently have a Werewolf by Night spoiler cast episode going up. It's not long after this has gone up, so it might be up by the time you finish this episode, but we'll be back with a Black Panther Wakanda Forever spoiler cast on November 10th. So make sure you watch that and join us next time for another All New Marvel Cast.